Okay, if we just talk about this chapter, which is budgets and budgetary control, first understand about this chapter. Karke. What is this? Budgets and budgetary control. You need to understand when you start with this chapter. When do you make budget? That should be very clear in your mind. Bolo when? First day. So is it clear with you that budget is made on first day? Now, when you make this budget, now from examination point of view, this chapter is divided into how many parts? 4. ऐसा याद हो जाना चाहिए. First is fixed and flexible budget. Then there is a functional budget that we are going to see. Then there is a control ratios or budget ratios, and then there is a master budget. एक बार सुनो मेरे साथ बोलो तो मुझे पता चलेगा. पहला कौन सा है? Fixed and flexible budget. Then there is a functional budget. Then there is a ratios, and then there is a master budget. याद रहेगा? Done. So okay, having done this, let us discuss one by one. So I will first start with what your fixed and flexible budget. Listen to this carefully. When I say fixed and flexible budget, so F and F budget, I will just write in shortcut. Yeah, तो चलो fixed and flexible budget. Listen to this now. Okay, when I talk about this budget, यहाँ पे क्या करना होता है? List of expenses will be given to you. What the question will be of what kind? They will give you cost number 1, cost number 2, cost number 3, cost number 4, cost number 5, and they will give you at 100 units it is your cost, at 200 units this is your cost. Okay, now if I tell you, sir, here the cost is 5,000, here the cost is 5,000, here the cost is 1,000, here the cost is 2,000, here the cost is 3,000, here the cost is 3,000. अच्छा, ऐसा कुछ डेटा दिया है. Out of these three, can you tell me which one is fixed cost? Cost number 1, 2, 3 में से बोलो 1 and 3. So I can say first will be your working note number 1 always, and that heading will be classification of the cost. What will you give the heading? Classification of the cost. इसमें there will be 3 parts. You will say that one is the fixed cost remains constant in total. You will give the heading like this. And variable cost remains constant in CPU. You will write like that. We have that written already. And the remaining cost, which will be, it will be semi-variable cost, which is neither fixed nor variable. Now, once I check this question, I come to know, sir, I come to know that what, sir, this is same, 3 is same. It means change in quantity has not have no effect on your cost. It means it is a fixed cost. So I will say item number 1 and item number 3 is which cost? Your fixed cost. Now, for remaining cost. So I'm done with this. Chalo, I'm done with this. Now, so this is fixed and this is fixed. For remaining part, what I'm going to do, let me just take one example. 100 into 2, that is gonna be, let's say 100 into 2 plus 500, that is 700. That is gonna be 900. So let me keep only this cost. Now we have 4 costs with you. So now for the remaining, either out of these 2 and 4, one will be something that can be variable or it can be semi-variable. For that matter, what will you calculate? CPU. So just tell me the CPU over here. खाली किसका बताना है आपको? CPU इसका. बताओ 1000 upon 100 कितना आएगा? 10. Everybody please take the calculator and calculate and let me know. कितना? 70. Be involved. Okay. Then 200 divided by 2000 upon 200 कितना? 10. Then here 900 upon 200 कितना? 4.5. Which cost is constant in CPU? Your second wala item. So I can say your second wala item is variable cost, which here I will say it is like this. कि sir, it is 5,000 in total. It is 3,000 in total, third wala item. But यहाँ पे I will write 10 rupees per unit because variable cost is incurred in per unit. Now what comes is your semi-variable cost. What will you do with semi-variable cost? You will make one working note. Always the same structure you can make. When it is a semi-variable cost, one part is variable, one part is fixed, and then you get your total cost, right? Which is semi-variable part. Then you will say from 100 you went to kitna? 200. Can you see this? 100 say you went 200. So your cost has went from 700 से कितना 900. तो ये 700 से 900 हो गया. Done. So I will say like this, sir, change in quantity is कितना 100. I have increased my quantity by 100, so my cost has increased by 200. So can I say for every unit my cost is increasing by what? So I can say 200, that is change in cost upon change in quantity. You will get your variable cost per unit, because as cost increases, which cost, sorry, as quantity increases, which cost will increase? Should I slow या फिर समझ में आता है? समझ में आता है everything? पक्का? Okay, so please answer this. So what will be your variable cost? 200 is your cost for extra 100 units, so 2 rupees. So I am gonna get 2 rupees. Can you give me the fixed cost? Please do some calculation in rough. 500. What you gonna say? So 2 rupees every unit का, तो 100 का it is 200. to every unit ka to 200 ka it is 400. Still I have incurred 700, so 500 is a balancing figure which is a fixed cost. 500 is a balancing figure which is a fixed cost. Clear hai? Now if I ask you to calculate the cost for 300 units, it can be easily done. They will ask you make a flexible budget for 300 or 350 or 80% capacity, 90%. I can say fixed cost ऐसे ही copy हो जाएगा. This बराबर, and this 10 rupees per unit wala, what will you do? 300 into 3, that is gonna be 3000. And the semi variable cost I can make one more thing, चलो 300 का वैसा तो कितना 300 into 2 हो जाएगा, that is gonna be 600, and 500 is fixed, so that is gonna be कितना 1100. And taking the total you will get your answer. Any doubt with this? First part is very much clear. Acha, sometimes question will give you something, sir. What they will give you? They will give you the adjustment that fixed cost has increased by 10%, variable cost has increased by 10%. Okay, so once they say you this that fixed cost has increased by 10%, so here this 5000 will not remain 5000, it will be 5000 plus 10%. But if they say variable cost will increase by 10%, hello, you should not add to 2000. Variable cost is 10 rupees per unit you used to incur. Now it will increase to 10%, that will become 11, then it is 11 into 300. Hello, clear hai ye wale thought process mein? Okay, okay. And in the question if it is written yeah, so yahan tak clear hai, right? So this is all about your fixed and flexible budget. As such, no variations are there. Generally this kind of questions will be asked, so it will give you some revision for that matter. Now the second part is which budget bolo? Functional budget. So guys, let us come to the functional budget. Now let us try to understand what is functional budget. So if I just talk about functional budget, it is like this. What will happen is, it is all about each and every function which is carried out in the organization. Example, there is a sales manager. So sales manager will sell. When he will sell, when in the factory you are going to produce that unit, अगर आप produce करेगा then he can sell. अच्छा, how can you produce? तो उसके लिए what all things you require? Main things, raw material and labor. So first you will estimate what is your quantity to be sold. Based on sold, what will you get? How many units you have to produce करके, ठीक है? Okay, चलो, if I give you some data that your quantity sold is, let us say 200 units, your closing stock का data I will give you, your opening stock का data I will give you. So let us say it is 50 and let us say it is 100. Can you give me quantity produced? 150. See the logic, either you can just think about the trading account. So quantity sold plus closing stock will be added on the same side. So plus closing stock, if you add that, you will add 50 and then the total becomes 250. So like 200 you want to sell, and after selling 200 you want 50 ka stock in with you. So you have to produce 250 for that matter. How many units you have to produce? 250. Then only after selling that you will have 50 ka stock. But sir, 250 mein se already you are having kitna? 100. So 100 will be subtracted. That is your opening stock. So what remains with you is, hello, 200 plus 50 minus 100. That is kitna? 150. That is your quantity to be produced. Acha, in the question, if they ask you something about this, prepare raw material ka budget or prepare labor ka budget, still your starting point will be this only. Because in order to know kitna raw material, how much raw material you want or how many hours ka work should be done, it depends upon quantity produced. So therefore, pehla budget to yahi banega, quantity produce karke. Clear with this thought process? First budget you will make is which budget? Your quantity produced ka budget. Acha, based on this quantity produced, now there will be two parts. Now there will be two parts. The one budget you will make is raw material ka budget, another budget you will make is labor ka budget. Hello, ये बायाट हो जाना चाहिए अभी तक. First part is fixed and flexible. You will do one thing, same है. If fixed cost is constant in total, for remaining you will calculate CPU. Variable cost is constant in CPU. So whatever is constant, that is variable. The remaining, which is neither fixed neither variable, will be your semi-variable. You will make separate working note. Change in cost upon change in quantity. Then you will get fixed cost as a balancing figure. ये thought process clear है? एकदम अच्छे से याद है? Done. Now if I talk about here, like the functional budgets, you gonna get quantity sold plus closing less opening. Reverse जा रहे हैं अपन, तो you will get quantity produced. Based on quantity produced. Now if I tell you one finished goods requires 2 kg of raw material, so what will you say? Quantity produced is 150. So into raw material per unit, every unit of finished goods require kitna? 2 kg of raw material. So what is the raw material that you require? 300. That is raw material to be consumed. Now you know the formula, opening stock plus purchase, या तो opening stock plus purchase minus closing is equal to raw material consumed. So if you want to know the purchase, what will happen? Closing stock comes on opposite side. It will be added on opening stock will be subtracted, or while making budget you are going reverse, so we have to do the reverse. We can say that simple. You can add a closing stock, you can less opening stock, you will get raw material to be purchased. ये आपको आ जाएगा. अच्छा, once you get this, then from this into, they will ask you that prepare raw material budget in quantity as well as in values. So once they say values, you have to multiply this with purchase price and you will get आपका परचेज का कॉस्ट. दिमाग में एकदम फिट रहेगा. Yes sir. Now labor का budget, please understand this labor का budget. Again, quantity produced, they will give you normally 1 unit. It is a standard time that 1 unit take how many hours? 4 hours. Generally 1 unit takes, let us say, 4 hours. So 150 units will take 150 into 4. Kitna hours? 600. It should take this many hours, standard hours. Okay. Now there is one formula which we have seen. Abhi I cannot just explain the logic as such, but just efficiency ratio ka it is done. Acha, it is going to come later on in the ratio wala part aapka, but efficiency ratio ka formula is what? Standard hours upon actual hours into 100. Pehle standard upon actual into 100. Now you want actual hours, so how you will get? This answer is given efficiency ratio ka, so you will say actual udhar jayega, so standard upon efficiency ratio into 100, you will get your this, hello, aapka actual hours, right? तो स्टैंडर्ड अपन व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, एफिशिएंसी रेशियो डिवाइड करने का, या तो वी हैव डिस्कस्ड आल्सो एफिशिएंसी रेशियो को यू हैव टू व्हाट डिवाइड करके, देन यू विल गेट आंसर. अच्छा, अदरवाइज देयर इज वन मोर थिंग. इफ योर एफिशिएंसी रेशियो इज 80%, चलो यू डोंट रिमेंबर एनीथिंग, इफ इट इज 80%, माय वर्कर इज एफिशिएंट और इनएफिशिएंट. माय वर्कर इज इनएफिशिएंट, ही इज नॉट वर्किंग 100%, तो उससे कम पे, तो ही विल टेक मोर आवर्स और लेस आवर्स? मोर. तो मोर के लिए यू हैव टू मल्टीप्लाई और यू हैव टू डिवाइड, तभी तो ऊपर जाएगा. इफ यू मल्टीप्लाई तो आंसर विल बी लेस देन 600. 600 का 80% आएगा, तो यू हैव टू डिवाइड. और यू कैन जस्ट बाय हार्ट वन थिंग, यू हैव टू डिवाइड एफिशिएंसी रेशियो. तो दिमाग में फिट हो गया है. यस, 600 डिवाइड बाय 80%, कितना? 750. एंड लेट अस से दैट व्हाटएवर आवर्स दे नीड, लेट अस से माय वर्कर, अगर ऐसा है कि 10 घंटे का काम है, तो उसमें से 2 आवर्स 20% तो डाउन टाइम में ही हैज टू कम इन द फैक्ट्री फॉर 12 आवर्स. इफ विल कम फॉर 12 आवर्स, तो घंटे का टाइम पास होएगा, then he will work for 10 hours because he will eat and something break and all करके. तो can I say if I want my worker to work for 10 hours, he has to come to the factory. 20% is your down time. Hello. So same, if I want my worker to work for 750 hours, there is a down time, it will be added, let us say 20%. Hello. So 750 plus 20%, then you will get 900 hours you require. एकदम अच्छे से क्लियर है सारी चीजें. Okay. Now let us assume like this. Let us assume like this that I have one worker who works for okay, चलो यहाँ पे अगर मैं ऐसा समझता, चलो let's understand this. Let us say that 900 hours are there. Now some data they will give you. The data will give you like this कि we work for 5 days in a week and we work for 8 hours a day. तो what happens, ऐसा डेटा दिया रहेगा कि work for 5 days in a week, तो 5 days into 8 hours कितना आ जाएगा? 40 hours. This work is done by one worker normally 40 hours. तो चलो यहाँ पे मैं दो कैलकुलेशंस आपको बता देता हूँ 900 से. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल 900 hours करके, let us say the data is given in the question of 1 week only. 1 week only. And if I tell you that I have, let us say, how many workers, you know, I have 20 workers with me. So what I am telling you, entire data is given for 1 week. So I am saying in 1 week, one worker can work for 40 hours. If there are how many workers? 20 workers. So काम कितना होगा? 40 into 20, 800 का. ये नॉर्मल में होगा. If we want, worker can work beyond 8 also, but that will be considered as what? Overtime. So I will say that sir, इस 800 का 2 points will be there. 800 is normal hours, जो ऐसे आया है यहाँ पे, and this 100 is known as what? Your overtime. समझ में आता है ये? Now for this 100 hours, let us say I pay 10 rupees to my worker. Question it will be written, overtime premium is 20%. That doesn't mean you will pay 2 rupees. Hello, overtime premium is 20%, so you will pay 20% extra. That is gonna be 12. Hello. 10 rupees plus 20%, that is gonna be 12, and then you will get the final answer. Is this thought process clear? So question will give you like this, they will give you worker ka data, you have to calculate normal and overtime wala part. Okay, sometimes some other data will be given. Sir, what kind of data will be given? They will tell you that 900 hours का काम अपने को करवाने का है, and let us say workers का data is not given. It is only said workers का data is not given. It is said कि 5 days we work and to 8 hours, so one worker can work for 40 hours. Now how many workers are required? बोलो. One worker can work for 40 hours. I need 900 hours का work. So divided by कितना करने का? 40 hours one worker can work for. If I need 80 hours, so I have to appoint 2 workers. So 900 upon 40 कितना? अच्छा, whether this fraction is 22.3 or whether this fraction is 22 point whatever it is, it doesn't matter. वर्कर से देखो, आपको हमेशा कहाँ राउंड ऑफ करना है? आगे. आगे बोलो तो you have to take 23. Sir, why sir? If you take 22, there will be a problem. 22 into 40 if you do, तो 40 hours one worker will work into 22. तो मेरा काम तो 80 का ही होएगा. तो shortage will be there, right? So whatever is your fraction, you should always round it off to the next decimal, not the mathematics मत सोचो. Always round off to the next decimal in this case. पूरा अभी अच्छे से स्ट्रक्चर क्लियर है इसके अंदर. अच्छा, so this part is very much clear करके. अच्छा, one more adjustment which was there in the question, if I just explain, it was like this कि sir, if I produce 100 units ना, तो 100 में से ना 5 खराब होता है, I get only 95 as my output. If I produce 100, तो 100 में से 9 खराब, 5 is like your normal loss. Quantity produced में से 5 are damaged units and 95 is your net output, which is good units. So question में it will be like this कि quantity sold plus closing stock less opening stock, you will get quantity produced. Now in order to sell this many, you need this many good units. Hello. So this is actually 95. Hello. So to produce 95, you have to produce 100 because 5 खराब होएगा, then you can produce and sell this 95. Hello. Let's assume there is no closing anyway. So if you want to sell, let us say 95 units, so you have to produce कितना? 95 तो customer तक पहुंचेगा. But अच्छा, if you want good 95 units, you have to produce कितना? That is reverse calculation will be done. It means it will be like this: quantity sold plus closing less opening, you will get quantity produced. This is your net production. Hello, this is always your net production. So you will say gross production, तो and plus ये you are going reverse. तो वो equation समझ आएगा. Then defective, then this is gross production. So you will write like this: 100, 5, 95. 100 में से 5 will be damaged and this will be 95, and then you will make reverse calculation. Is this thought process clear? Here there is a possibility you go reverse. आप गलती से उल्टा कर दोगे. You want 95 good units, so you have to produce more. Hello, clear है? So that's it. That was the max we can say. Again, there are big questions based on this. Actually, if you see, अच्छा, there is one more part, but I will take that in marginal costing. आपका sales mix ratio वाला. Also there is one question वो IC वाला, baseboard and all करके वैसा. But we'll take that in marginal sales mix करके. Okay. अच्छा, ये clear है? So this was all about this. What is the third type of the budget? बोलो आपका, that is ratios. You can say either control ratios or you can say the budget ratios करके. Okay. इसके अंदर what all things you need? तो how many hours you thought of? Maximum hours. Then you will say budgeted hours. Then you will say standard hours. Then you will say actual hours. Hello. Let us say you made a plan that you're gonna study for your capacity is 10 or 20 question you can solve in 10 hours. That is your max capacity. But as there is no requirement, you made a chota sa plan that you're gonna study for only 8 hours and you are going to solve only 8 questions. That is the activity you want to perform, only 8 questions in a day. Okay. What has actually happened? You studied only for how many hours? 4. But maybe you are quite efficient. You solved 6 questions. If you understand, you are efficient. Why? What is expected in 4 hours? 4 questions. But you did 6. It means your speed is higher, right? This 6 questions should have taken how much time? 6 hours, I can say. ये यहाँ पे लिखे. Now, what I can say? You wanted to achieve 8 questions का output, but you achieved कितना? 6 question का. So your activity level is more than expected or less than expected? Less. You are thinking to solve 8, but you solved only 6. So कितना percent you have achieved करके? So I can say like this. It is 6 by 8 into 100. Hello, it cannot be 8 by 6. Out of 8 you have achieved only 6 का target. So 6 by 8 into 100, that is कितना? इसको which ratio is known as activity ratio, and activity का formula is what? Standard upon budget into 100. So please understand, activity ratio का formula is standard upon actual into 100. Hello, sorry, budgeted into 100. Now if I just talk about efficiency ratio, efficiency, if I just talk about the job which should have taken 6 hours has taken how many hours? 4. तो आपने अभी यहाँ पे whether you are efficient or not, just tell me. Yes, you did it speed में 6 घंटे का काम you did in 4 hours. So your answer efficiency का should be greater than 100 or less than 100, because you did it speed में, तो you are more efficient करके, तो you have to do 6 by 4 or 4 by 6? 6 by 4. Then you can get the answers. That is your which ratio? Efficiency ratio. So what you need to remember, if you want to get activity ratio, it is standard upon budget into 100. If you want to get efficiency ratio, it is standard upon actual into 100. That is your efficiency ratio. Abhi that has been explained. Clear hai? Now, after that, what comes is, what you're gonna write is maximum, then your budget, and then your actual. you made a plan to you have a capacity to study for 10 hours, you made a plan only for 8 hours, and you studied only for 4 hours. So out of 10 you studied only for 8 hours, that is 8 by 10 into 100 bole to budget upon maximum into 100, and this that is 80% you are planning to achieve, that is known as standard capacity utilization. You are planning to achieve this करके. अच्छा what you have actually, अच्छा चलो what you have actually, अच्छा ऐसे रिवर्स जाने का 4/8 then 8/10. तो पहले 4/8 क्या मिलेगा, whatever budgeted capacity you planned उसमें से what is your actual utilization of budgeted capacity. Do you remember this? What is your actual utilization of budgeted capacity? You made a budget of 8 but you achieved only 4. तो 8 में से 4 ही अचीव किया, मतलब 50% अचीव किया. या तो ऐसे जाने का पहले 4/8 then 8/10. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे which ratio will come, actual utilization out of budgeted capacity, there is standard utilization what you are planning out of maximum capacity, that is only capacity basis for that matter. What is actual capacity utilization? Capacity only written it means it is maximum. So what you have actually utilized, actual capacity utilization, out of your capacity you have utilized only 4 hours, बोलो तो 40%. The formula will be actual upon maximum into 100. Hello. So अच्छा, if I ask you now standard capacity utilization, actual capacity of budgeted, उसमें से utilization या तो only actual capacity utilization. The formula for this will be actual upon budgeted into 100. Here it will be budgeted upon maximum into 100. ऐसे याद रहेगा. और लास्ट वाले में it is actual upon maximum into 100 करके. अच्छा, you made a plan to study for 10 days, 20 days. And let us say 10 days and you studied only for 8 days actual में. तो this is days वाला ratio. Days को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, calendar ratio. अच्छा, if I talk about calendar ratio, can you give me the answer? 80%. You made a plan to study for 10 days, right? But you studied only for how many? 8 days. So 80% you have achieved calendar का. Formula will be what upon actual upon standard into 100. Clear with this thought process? So these are the ratios. How many ratios are there? So first is there is I can just see this maximum, budget, standard, actual. One is your activity ratio, one is your efficiency ratio. It is standard upon budget into 100, it is standard upon actual into 100. Then there is a maximum, budget, actual. So here it is actual upon budget into 100, here it is budget upon maximum into 100, and here it is आपका actual upon maximum into 100. Actual capacity utilization of budgeted, it is only actual capacity utilization, it is standard capacity utilization. याद रहेगा. And days के लिए actual days upon standard days into 100. Clear with this? Now if I just go to the fourth part, what is the fourth part of this? Master budget. चलो, now if I just talk about master budget, what is there in the master budget? Generally we say income statement में क्या होता है आपका, here it is a sales minus COGS, you get GP. Then GP is transferred, then you say administration, you will subtract, and selling and distribution, and you will get what? NP. So if you make a format that is gonna be sales minus COGS, you will get what? GP. GP minus admin expenses, you will get what? NP. This is the format of what? Master budget. Sir, what comes in COGS? So this COGS is nothing but your raw material, direct labor, direct expenses. Then you get prime cost. Then you add factory overhead. Then you get factory overhead के बाद what comes? Gross factory cost. And then in factory there is one more thing which is adjusted WIP. You get net factory cost. After factory, like beside factory, who is there? Q. Who is doing RAP, which is scrap, that is quality control, research and development, administration connected with production, primary packing, sale of scrap. If it is written specifically in the question, sale of scrap of material, specifically written, subtract from raw material consumed. Otherwise, they will write only sale of scrap or sale of scrap during production. That will be subtracted from here. Hello. Then you're gonna get your cost of production. Then add opening stock of finished goods less closing stock of finished goods. Then you will get COGS. It is this. Clear with this? Okay. So that is what the format is. And yeah, that was all about your, we can say what, आपका budgetary control. It is just a conceptual revision. We have not solved any question yet. Just in case if I see the time. So that is done with this. We are budgetary control. Just with 4 parts. Just last part. Fixed and flexible. You need to remember functional budgets, ratios you can say, and master budget करके. Yeah. What is master budget? It is actually the summary of functional budgets. And what is examples of functional budget? Sales budget, production budget, then raw material budget, labor budget, and etc etc. Even एक part भी आता है, but I did not teach you because it is not there in costing now. Cash budget is also a functional budget. कितना पैसा आया गया, but that you learn in FM. So yeah, finally we are done with this chapter. Done with this chapter. Yeah.